Okay, this time around I get to cover, oh boy, Austin versus Undertaker. I was gonna say Rock. I need to do Austin versus Rock is what I need to do. That'll be number 13. Yeah, I booked my own thing. Yes. And that'll be requested by me because I'm awesome. I'm kind of in one of those dizzy, non whatever states. So if I seem a little, deal with it. Alright. Yep. Number 11, Austin vs. Undertaker. Um, let's just kind of do this. Once again, my reliable source is Wikipedia. Yeah. Part of this feud, this was actually a really long feud. It wasn't like completely on the whole entire time, but what can you do? A lot of this was Undertaker and Austin through 98 to 99. Not all of it, though. Huh. Alright, let's do this. The first time these two really met up was well, they had a little tag team championship run before. That's the thing with the Attitude Era when people say they buried the tag team division. You had people like X-Pac and Kane, and Austin and Taker, and The Rock and Mankind. Even though that one worked, it was still put together, deal with it. So, in a way, yeah, I understand when people say they buried the tag team division, but what can you do? That's, how it was, and true enough. So, yeah. The first time these two really met at the one-on-one in a major time was SummerSlam 98. Go check out that match if you have not seen it. It was actually a good match, and it was one of the few times I've seen Undertaker lose cleanly. Like, by a stunner of all moves. Yeah. So go check out that match. Stone Cold was still good in his build. I believe this was after King of the Ring. This was after King of the Ring, where Kane won the first blood match. Thank God. That match shouldn't. This should still be continuing on from Austin's WrestleMania reign. So it should be, but it's not. What can you do? It's gay. It was just a clusterfuck from here. They decided to bring in Kane since he kind of was already involved with Austin. They had a triple threat. They got a double pin on Austin. Once the belt being vacated, and then Undertaker and Kane fought one-on-one, and then Austin screwed over Undertaker, and then Undertaker fought Austin, Undertaker fought Kane, and then they went heel, and then if I confused you, pretty much what this says. The Undertaker and Kane, whatever. The Undertaker and Kane pin Austin simultaneously after a double choke slam. The title was vacated. This led to Judgment Day in your house. It was between Undertaker and Kane. Austin was referee. Bear and Undertaker hit Kane with a chair. And then Undertaker went for a pin. Austin refused to count. This was where Undertaker went heel. And then pretty much Austin counted out. So like I said, Austin screwed over Taker. And then finally Undertaker became a villain the next night. So like I said, this is when he turned heel. For the first time in over 6 years at the time. Oh, you got the Ministry of Darkness crap here. I don't even want to talk about that. I like the Ministry. And I like the Alkalites, that, APA in the Ministry. But Viscera and Midian? Just saying. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a part I didn't mention. You had Austin and Rock in a one-on-one match, but Undertaker cost Austin that match. So that's why you got these two. And then there's a memorable thing where, the, whatever the fuck you want to call them, the Ministry of Darkness shit. Just some of the stuff they did was stupid. I thought the stuff at the Royal Rumble, it was entertaining, I guess, but it was stupid. Go watch Royal Rumble 99 if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you remember when the Ministry of Darkness, they kidnapped Stephanie, and then they put her on the cross, and Austin saved her. It just kept the feud going, and it didn't make sense, but anything with Austin had fans going, yeah, yes, what? I'm glad we don't get What Chance anymore, by the way. And then, oh boy. I remember this. You get Undertaker versus Stone Cold at Over the Edge. I almost said Over the Limit. Over the Edge. The pay-per-view where Owen Hart died. You are going to change the World Heavyweight Championship in the ring where a guy died. Need I say more? And yeah, really just from here it was all back and forth shit. Austin won the belt back. They had a first blood match at Fully Loaded. It was okay match. I still say the SummerSlam 98 match was better, but the Fully Loaded match here with the first blood was okay. And the corporate ministry disbanded here. Then Undertaker went back to face, and that was good. I'm sorry. Anytime I think of Over the Edge 99, and they decided to keep the show going, I'm like, oh my fucking god. Okay, well, the involvement of Kane isn't going to raise the grade any, by the way. I understand why it was done, but it's not going to improve the grade. How many times this belt was hot potato just in this feud alone, with first Kane, then Austin, then the Undertaker, then the Van Kane, and then all this fucking shit, then The Rock, and then, do you see what I'm saying? Just, yeah, this belt was just hot potatoed so fucking much. Just no. People that love the Attitude Era, I mean, I understand why, but the belt was hot potatoed quite a bit. Quite a bit. The involvement with Stephanie was okay. It kept, I guess, the whole involvement with the McMahon, it kept the McMahon feud, because, the whole thing with the corporate ministry is Vince was like, you gotta beat Austin, Undertaker, you gotta beat Austin, yeah. You know, all that shit. So it worked, pretty much. Kind of like Undertaker was the badass. Not a badass American, but a badass. So, it worked. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a grade for this. Just everything with the Attitude Era that involved Austin. Everyone thinks Austin Rock or Austin McMahon. Not really Austin Taker, even though I'm not saying you shouldn't or should, but I just thought of that. The SummerSlam 98 match was good. The Triple Threat was stupid. The involvement with McMahon was good. I'm not going to count the Rock and Austin match where Undertaker screwed over Austin. Stephanie's involvement was good. I'm not Over the Edge is going to fucking drop it. And the Fully Loaded match will raise it a tad bit because it was a good ending. Overall, I'll give it a B-, C+. I'll give it a C+. This is the first time I gave something lower than a B in a while. I feel like being mean. I'll give it a C+, because once again, the involvement of Kane was stupid. The fact that Over the Edge was the place where Undertaker won his championship in a ring where a guy died, rest in peace, Owen Hart, is fucking stupid as hell. The fact the belt was hot potatoed so many fucking times was stupid as hell. And honestly, if you ask me, the corporate ministry overall was stupid as hell. I understand you're taking things like from McMahon, and you could have still had McMahon, having communications with the ministry, but the corporate ministry and how many times I talked about it is just fucking stupid as hell. Fuck this feud. C+ is probably fair, I guess. I'm not gonna say it's over too nice or anything. It's fair. I just didn't. Just to me, the matches were good, but once again, in the IWC and YWC, match quality isn't everything, and this is a good example of it. Because honestly, to me, the storyline, it was just two guys going at it, and that's good. But look how many times they went at it. Look at all the shit that was involved. This was kind of a clusterfuck, and if you like clusterfucks, you'll love this feud. If not, don't watch it. That's all there's to it. So I get to do my next two rivalries probably. If you want, subscribe up above, like this video, comment your thoughts below on Undertaker and Austin, their feud, the McMahon involvement, the corporate ministry, anything with this feud, or even if you want to inbox me a rivalry suggestion, inbox it to me. If you really want, you can comment, but I prefer inbox so it doesn't get lost in the mix. or I don't notice it. Because sometimes my comments don't pop up in the inbox on my YouTube channel or even my email. So that's about it. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.